Scott Disick plans to interfere in Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian's relationship for his own benefit. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Scott Disick is still holding on to deep feelings for Kourtney Kardashian, even though she is now happily married to Travis Barker. From the way things are going, some people believe that Scott may even want to break their relationship apart. He once had Kourtney's love but lost it over time. Many people think that maybe fame affected his behavior or he was just not mature enough at the time. Kourtney gave Scott so many chances, hoping he would change, but he never truly met the standard she deserved. She once loved him so much that she would have done anything for him. But love like that cannot survive forever unless the other person feels the same way and treats it with care. Scott made too many mistakes and failed to protect the love they had. When Kourtney finally gave up emotionally, that was when Scott suddenly started wanting her back. This kind of behavior is common with people who don't know how to appreciate love until it's gone. Back in the days before the current Kardashian show, Scott and Kourtney's relationship was one of the major storylines on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Their love story went through many ups and downs, and fans watched them break up and make up many times. Sometimes, people thought they would end up together forever. Other times, they looked like they were just not meant to be. There was clearly real love between them, but too many things kept getting in the way. Then Kourtney met someone new, and that changed everything. She was tired of waiting for things to get better with Scott, so she allowed herself to grow and become someone who could find happiness elsewhere. Scott saw this and realized he had lost something valuable, but it was too late. Nowadays, Scott is focusing more on being a parent. He might think this could impress Kourtney or make her think differently about him. But it is hard to tell whether it will bring them closer or just remind her of all the times he failed to be the man she needed him to be. In the past, Kourtney loved Scott in such a pure and powerful way. Her love was like a peaceful place filled with light and beauty. But Scott brought pain and sadness into that space with his actions. His problems with addiction and his unfaithful behavior destroyed the peaceful world they could have had together. There was one moment during their old reality show when Kourtney heard another woman's voice on Scott's phone. She wanted to believe his excuses, but deep inside, she knew the truth. Still, she wasn't ready to walk away. The thought of losing Scott completely was too painful, and she needed more time to deal with it. She was still in love with him at that time, and she wanted to forgive him even though he had hurt her. Watching that moment now makes many people feel sad for Kourtney because she gave her heart to someone who didn't deserve it. Thankfully, she eventually realized that she needed to stop forgiving him and start protecting her own heart. Leaving Scott was not easy for Kourtney. It wasn't a clean break. It felt more like a long, slow heartbreak that happened over many years and many disappointments. But in a way, that pain opened the door for something better. It allowed Kourtney to move on and start building a new life where she could actually be happy. Staying with Scott would have meant more disappointment, more sadness, and more of a love that was far from what she really wanted. So, even though it was hard, letting go was the best thing she could have done. Now, sometimes Scott looks sad and lost, like he's thinking about the love he once had but couldn't keep. He may be realizing that Kourtney was truly special and that he let her slip away. But Kourtney made the right choice by walking away. In fact, many people believe she should have left him much earlier than she did. When a man cheats and even saves the name of another woman as his wife in his phone, that shows he does not take the relationship seriously. That kind of behavior should never be accepted, especially by someone who was loving and loyal like Kourtney. Even though Scott is now trying to be more responsible and show that he can be a good father, that does not erase the past. Kourtney has moved on and found someone who treats her with the respect and love she always deserved. Travis Barker makes her happy, and their relationship seems strong and full of mutual respect. Scott, on the other hand, seems stuck in the past, trying to find a way back to something that is already gone. His actions might not only be about love. Some believe he might be jealous or simply not happy with the way Kourtney has moved forward without him. Scott may think that if he becomes a better father, or if he shows Kourtney that he has changed, she might come back to him. But Kourtney's life is now different. She has grown into a stronger person who knows what she wants and is no longer willing to settle for less. Her past with Scott taught her some hard lessons, and those lessons helped her build a better future. It would not make sense for her to go back to a situation where she felt unimportant and hurt. Some people close to the situation feel that Scott might not just be missing Kourtney, he might be actively trying to ruin her relationship with Travis. Whether or not this is true, it shows how deeply Scott is still affected by losing her. Instead of working on himself and trying to be a better person for his own sake, it seems like he is focused on the past and stuck in his feelings. Kourtney, however, is looking forward and building a future that is no longer connected to Scott in a romantic way. For years, people watched the way Scott treated Kourtney and wondered why she stayed so long. But now, it is clear that love can make people forgive even when they shouldn't. Kourtney's journey shows that even the strongest love can break if it is not respected. She finally found the courage to choose herself over a love that brought her more pain than joy. That is something many people can learn from. Scott had many chances to change, but he waited until it was too late. Now that Kourtney is happy and married to someone who values her, he can only look back and think about what might have been. No matter what he does now, it cannot change the past or erase the way he hurt someone who loved him so deeply. Kourtney's decision to move on and find real happiness is a powerful reminder that everyone deserves to be with someone who treats them well. Even though Scott may try to act like he's fine or joke around on TV, his actions and expressions sometimes show a different story. There is a sadness in him, a sense of regret that he cannot hide forever. He might still care about Kourtney, but caring is not enough when the actions don't match the words. Kourtney gave her heart to him again and again, and he broke it every time. Now, as Kourtney builds her life with Travis, she seems more at peace. She is no longer caught in a cycle of heartbreak and waiting for someone to change. She has chosen love that is steady, kind, and respectful. And that is something Scott may never be able to give her, no matter how much he wishes he could go back in time. In the end, Scott Disick's story is a painful example of what happens when someone takes love for granted. He had a woman who loved him more than anything, but he lost her because he didn't treat her right. Kourtney's decision to walk away was not just brave, it was necessary. She showed that it's okay to leave behind something familiar if it means finding true happiness. Now, as Scott watches her from a distance, he is learning that some mistakes cannot be undone. The love he once had is now part of the past, and no matter what he does, he cannot go back. Kourtney has moved on, and the world is watching her glow in a new life filled with the kind of love she always dreamed of. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.